While working on a story about manatees a few years ago, I was actually in Florida shooting in freshwater rivers and springs like Crystal River that we see here. This is a place that actually attracts thousands of people every year with kayaks and snorkelers, even some divers, I guess, because the manatees come to these freshwater springs in the wintertime because the water is warmer and they need warm water to survive. This is an aerial photo that shows that aggregation of manatees and people. And getting that behavior, the interaction between people and manatees was an important part of the story that I wanted to tell, because this is a big ecotourism business and these animals have learned to adapt to humans. But my most special experiences, as often is the case, happened late in the day when everyone else had left and I was just alone with the manatees. I found that they would often swim down these narrow channels into these sort of primordial springs, and I would sort of drift down there behind them and be very patient and wait until they allowed me into their world. Photographically, I was shooting at very, very high speeds. This is right around sunset, so there's very little ambient light. I'm shooting at maybe 1600 or 2000 ISO, but being able to do that with digital cameras today allows you to see much more of the habitat instead of just the animal. Incidentally, as you may know, manatees were the animals that we're told inspired mermaid legends. And early explorers that came over to the New World, like Columbus, wrote in their logbooks about seeing mermaids. It's hard to believe that they ever mistaken that face for that of a mermaid, but evidently those boys had been on the boat a little too long. Nonetheless, these experiences for me were very special. Being alone out there is a chance to see interesting social interactions and behaviors, things I hadn't necessarily read about, like this little social gathering. I'd read that manatees aren't typically all that social, but yet here I could see this kind of thing happening and, getting a brief glimpse into a otherwise mysterious world.